Yo, what's up, Broncos country? How's it going today, guys? So, me and Muhammad are back with our gut reaction to the Broncos absolutely destroying the Cincinnati Bengals last night. It was a fun game, at least for me. I mean, I had a crappy week, but last night's game made up for it. But, Muhammad, what was your gut reaction to the game last night?
I mean, it's like you said, Eddie. I mean, it's a total domination. I mean, we just dominated we only allowed them to score 3 points, and I'm not gonna lie, when we scored two touchdowns and they were like 14-3, and I know I'd send you a message too. I was like, man, I'm not confident. You always just got this gut feeling that at any moment we're gonna just screw this up. But hey, they did their thing. Sean Payton actually ran the ball. I don't know what was wrong with him last night. I was really shocked that he actually did that because he always just have this itch, like he'll run it a little bit and then he wants to run it. He will want to pass it, but we ran the ball, man, over like close to 500 yards of like passing, run, all total yards, I guess. 326 yards for Bo Nix, a couple of touchdowns. I mean, he had a pick, but hey, it's a 28-3. Um, Dobbins is the real deal, man. I mean, over 100 yards. What was that since 2022? I think, Eddie. Last time we
Yeah, the last guy that had 100 yards rushing for the Broncos was Latavius Murray in
Yeah, very
2022.
good. Exactly. So, J.K. Dobbins, man, he did his thing. R.J. Harvey, I see the talent. He's shining. You could see that why he was picked. It's there. It's just going to take some time. Man, Bo Nix was just spreading the ball, man. He was hitting all his receivers. Sutton, with that beautiful touchdown. I kind of got worried when he caught the ball, Eddie, because he was kind of slow getting up. I was like, oh my God, he hurt himself. You saw that, right?
I
That's
think he just knocked the wind out of himself because he kind of landed really tight on his back.
Exactly. So, but yeah, man, I mean, it was really good to see the offense because just operating and just running the ball. Sean Payton, please just keep doing that. Just don't abandon it. It was really nice to actually see that. This is what we always been saying, Eddie. Run the ball. Remember last season when he had it in his when he had that big sign saying "run the ball" and he still wouldn't do it. He just can't help himself, you know. But I'm really happy, man. We won. We got the monkey off our back. We're 2-2. We're back to 500. We got to go to Philly next week. I'm not gonna lie. I have an Eagles fan. One of my coworkers is the Eagles fan. I was talking smack to him. I was telling him Barkley is not gonna run like more than 30 yards, and they better watch out. We're coming and stuff. Do I really trust that? I don't know, man. But hey, any given Sunday, right? But yeah, overall, Eddie, like the defense did pretty well for the most part. Just kept them to 3 points. Did not let them just score. Um, I'm not gonna lie, Eddie, the Bengals look bad, man. I mean, and I don't even think it's just because Burrow was hurt. It's just this is not good. It's not good. So maybe if they don't win a lot of games, it might be a good thing for them. They can pick high. They're gonna need a lot of help on defense. But yeah, overall, I was happy with the performance with the Broncos. There was still some penalties there, some things to clean up, but overall, it's a win. We're back to 500. We're 2-2. We're still on the hunt, as far as the division. I know the Chargers lost, so hey, we just need to start winning, and we'll be right there, Eddie.
Well, first of all, I forgot to do our orders of business before I got your gut reaction. But please, guys, like, comment, subscribe on this video. Also, hit that bell notification so you know when we go live. Share this page and video with your family, your friends, anybody that's a Broncos fan or just a football fan in general. Share this video with them so we can help build our subscribers up. But my initial reaction to this game, of course, was happiness. Like finally, we erased the 2-game losing streak. We got back on the winning column for this week. And man, do I have a lot to say about this game. Oh boy. Uh, this game was fun to watch, but I will say I'm not that type of guy to be like, well, it's just this team. I mean, they're all, yeah, bad teams are bad teams. Okay, yeah, cool, whatever. But you know what? What's the word I'm looking for here, man? I'm having a brain fart right now. Uh, there's still pros they still get paid NFL money to play like NFL players. They're still NFL players.
Professional players, yeah.
I understand the Bengals defense is one of the bottom tier defenses in the league. They didn't have Joe Burrow. Jake Browning, like I hate to say it, I think the Bengals should probably go out and maybe trade for like a Jameis Winston or Russell Wilson. Jake Browning is terrible.
Yeah.
But with that said, the Broncos dominate the Bengals 28-3. And honestly, Muhammad, whenever I first started watching that game yesterday, dude, it was just like I saw the freaking Jake Browning led Bengals march down the field on this defense. Granted, they kept them out of the end zone. That bend but don't break mentality, which is great sometimes. I'm not going to sit here and deny that. But it's like, come on, dude. Can this team just for once on both sides of the ball start fast? Like the offense got the ball on their first drive, and I'm pretty sure it ended in a punt. Like, I'm like, come on, dude. Like the defense lets the Bengals just march down the field. I'm sorry to say, but if Joe Burrow was leading that offense yesterday, they probably scored a touchdown on their opening drive. And like, this is what scares me. Yes, like I said, they're football players. They get paid. They got to perform. But you can't tell me this wouldn't have been a different outcome. I'm not saying the Broncos would have lost, but I don't think it would have been 28-3 if Joe Burrow was playing. Joe Burrow is the Cincinnati Bengals. He is.
Yeah.
And they're a cheap organization. Like they're a poor stricken organization. Like I think the owners just need to sell that team and get rid of Burrow and just get rid of Zach Taylor. They need to rebuild this freaking team, dude. Like the owners are just poor, broke assholes. Joe Burrow is wasting his career there. The head coach is a buffoon. But I'm happy we got the win. Don't get me wrong. But whenever I saw that first shot, I'm like, come on, Denver. Can't you just keep them? I mean, they did for the rest of the game. After that first drive of the Bengals, they did not cross midfield after that. Like the entire rest of the game, the defense just shut them down. But it's just like, and like, I mean, maybe I'm just being a little too picky here, but it's like I wish both the offense and defense would start out high just once. Yeah. You know, don't let us like I was stressing a little bit, and then the offense went 3 and out, and I'm like, God damn it, you know. So I just wish one time, you know, they would just start fast, just one game, just make it to where the Bronco fans ain't got stressed on like the first, I don't know, half of the first quarter, you know. But they got the win, and the Broncos. Like, and this was a big high point for me last week, Muhammad. We talked about this last week. Penalties. Oh my freaking God. Like, again, like if Joe Burrow was playing in this game, the Broncos had, I think, like, I had to look at it. Give me a second. Let me look here. I just had it pulled up. I got to look at it again. But last week, the Broncos, they had 7 penalties for 72 damn yards. They got to cut that shit out, dude. Like, seriously, like if Joe Burrow was leading this team last night, the Broncos probably lose with that many penalties. Like, it's insane to me. And then the following week, I believe it was, I want to say it was 10. Yeah, it was 10 penalties for 90 yards against the Chargers. And what did I say last week, Muhammad, after that game? I said, if you slash that, you know, those penalty yards in half, you only get about 45 yards. You beat the Chargers.
And the Colts the week before, too, Eddie.
Well, they only had 45 yards of penalties in week 2 against the Colts. That, to me, like week 1, we won against the Titans, but the offense played terribly. They did. The defense played great, but the offense played terribly. Week 2, it was like vice versa. The offense played great. They scored 28 points, and the defense just couldn't stop Daniel Jones. Like, that to me, that week 2 was not about the penalties. It was about the defense couldn't stop Daniel Jones and Jonathan Taylor. So, but even if you just say you lose that game with the Indianapolis Colts, if you slash the freaking penalties in half against the Chargers, you're sitting at 3-1 right now. Like the Chargers, I'm not going to say they're not good, but they're not this like, you know, they're not this juggernaut team. Like yesterday, then honestly, I can go back even to the Colts game. Like the Colts game, the Broncos didn't lose to the Colts. The Colts didn't beat us. We beat ourselves in week 2. Our defense completely just didn't stop Daniel Jones. Like, now, if you want to give credit to Daniel Jones for that, go ahead, whatever. The offense for the Colts, cool, whatever. But the Colts defense didn't do anything special. Bo Nix and the offense scored 28 points on them. The defense let the freaking Daniel Jones led Colts come back and win that game. So if you want to give it, say the Colts are the ones that beat the Broncos, okay, fine. I'm not going to argue with that at any stretch. I think if the Broncos defense just makes one stop in that second half, we win that game. But last week against the Chargers, that was a self-inflicted loss. That wasn't the Chargers beat us. We were beating them. Like we were holding our own against the Chargers pretty well. If the Broncos don't have 10 penalties for 90 freaking yards, the Broncos win. The Broncos beat themselves against the Chargers. The Broncos lost to the Chargers. They did that themselves. They beat themselves. It wasn't the Chargers. And then this week, we beat the Bengals. But like I said, if it was Joe Burrow out there with 72 yards of penalties, we probably lose that game. Again, we beat ourselves. Like this Broncos. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say discipline. That's what it comes down to, Eddie. Discipline. The coaches got to do their job too.
And that's my big take. These are coming into my next talking point. I talked to somebody earlier, somebody I trust that's kind of an insider. I was like, dude, if the Broncos just cut down on penalties and stick to running the ball, they can beat anyone. And he agreed with me. Like, you run look what happens. They ran for 186 freaking yards yesterday. The Broncos did. And what'd that do? That opened up the play action. Now, you can say it's because the Bengals defense is bad. Okay, whatever. But this just goes to show you there's still a defense. They still had Trey Hendrickson. They still had Shamar Stewart. It's still an NFL caliber defense. The bottom line is you cut those penalties in half, you win against the Chargers. The Broncos, if they cut those penalties in half, if they only have like 30 to 45 yards of penalties is coming up against the Eagles, and they stick to running the goddamn ball, they can beat the Eagles. Yes. Like the Eagles, all their games this year has been by one score, or that's pretty much it. Like they're winning one score games. I'm not saying the Broncos are going to blow them out. Hell, I'm not even saying the Broncos are going to win. But I'm just saying, like, Sean, you see what happens when you run the ball for 186 yards. It opens up the play action. Look, Bo Nix had 326 yards through the air and 2 touchdowns. Yes, he had the one dumbass interception. Like, I don't know who I even talked to my buddy last night. I was like, who the hell was he throwing to? It looked like he literally threw it right to the defender.
That's exactly what he was saying. Throw it to the other team.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe the tight end that was running that route that he was covering, because I'm pretty sure I don't know if it was Nate Atkins or Troutman. I don't know if the tight end was supposed to stop and come back, or if he was just supposed to stop and he just kept going and Bo Nix thought he was going to be there. I don't know. But he went right to the defender.
Seriously, like it could have been a rushing touchdown. I don't know if he was close, but he should have just tried that if there was nobody open.
Yeah. But yeah, they do that. If they stick to running the ball and they cut the penalties in half, this Broncos team can be lethal. They could. They can beat anybody. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a Broncos fan. I truly, honestly believe that. They cut those. They would have beat the Chargers. They cut those penalties in half last week. Easily. They would have beaten them. But they just couldn't stop shooting themselves in the foot. And I will say this now. If the Broncos like cut back on the penalties and they run the ball, they can beat the Eagles this week. But I don't have them beating the Eagles this week. I think Sean Payton's going to try to get cute again, like he always does. And we're going to lose to the Eagles 31-21. I'm sorry, but that's just the way I feel about it. I hope Sean Payton proves me wrong. I hope he doesn't do that. I hope he sticks to run the ball, play action. This defense plays phenomenal again. I really do hope they do that. But I'm not holding my breath until I see it consistently that they run the ball. With that said, the other thing is, the other thing I heard people say was Bo Nix needs to work on his footwork. And I agree. Like, there was that one pass play where Troy Franklin, I think, was running like was he running a post or a seam? He was running one of the two. And Troy Franklin drops it. Like, Bo Nix, he had jittery feet in the pocket. He didn't slide up. He just kind of like jittered up into the pocket and threw the ball. Now, yeah, Bo Nix needs to fix his footwork. I have no problem with saying that. Like, he's still got things he needs to work on. But Troy Franklin should have caught that damn ball. It hit him right in the damn hands. I don't think Bo Nix, even if he would have set his feet in that play, could have threw that ball any better and placed it any better.
I mean, your receiver, your job is to catch the ball. I mean, come on.
Exactly. So, but I'm just yeah, Bo Nix has got to clean up the footwork. That's the only thing I'm worried about with Bo Nix. Just clean up the footwork. And fix the penalties, clean those up, run the damn ball, Sean. Please, for the love of God, run the damn ball. And I'm happy to say I touched on this a little bit, Muhammad, but I'm happy. Like the Broncos have their first 100-yard rusher in 3 goddamn years.
Yes.
The last person to do it was Latavius Murray in 2022. And I think it was like week 16 or week 17. It was after I think Hackett got fired. Like our first guy rushed for 100 yards. It was insane. But let's see. I want to go over these stats real quick. I want to get your take on this, Muhammad. Give me 1 second. Okay. Bo Nix. Oh, crap. Maybe hang on. I got to get into the app here. Okay. Bo Nix went 29 for 42. So he had 42 passing attempts. They had 38 rushing attempts. So there you go, Sean. Again, run the ball, pass, that opens up the play action, but have a more balanced offense. He did that this week, and we killed the Bengals. Now, again, you can say it's because the Bengals are bad, but that just shows you what you like. Yeah, you're not going to blow out bad or good teams. You're not going to blow out the Eagles. If you beat them, I'd say probably 1 score or less. It's going to be less than a score. But you can beat teams like that if you stick to this formula of running the ball, play action, and keep a balanced offense and cut down the penalties. You can beat anybody. But Bo Nix went 29 or 42, 326 yards, a 69-point completion percentage, 7 yards, almost 8 yards a pass, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. And here's another big stat that we've seen, and this is a good thing with Bo Nix. Like it's a continuous thing. It's continuity. 0 sacks. That is a big thing for a quarterback. If you don't take sacks, and the offensive line really hasn't been that great this year. We all know that. Bo Nix is good at getting rid of the ball and not taking sacks, which I am so happy about that. Better than Russell Wilson, thank God. And he had a passer rating of 97, almost 98. He almost had a passer rating of. What are your thoughts on Bo Nix stats, Muhammad?
I mean, really good, incredible. I mean, Eddie, we always say that you're a young quarterback's best friend is the running game, right? I mean, this is just basic football, right? But the problem, Eddie, is, and it worked this time. The problem with Sean Payton, I don't trust him because he's pass happy. He wants to throw the ball. He wants to pass it, and I understand he's an offensive mind. That's their bread and butter, right? But the problem is with he's not patient with the run game, Eddie. He'll try it, doesn't work, screw it. I'm just gonna throw it 50 times, right? It
Sounds like
needs
Pat Shermer.
Yeah, Eddie. And the thing is, like the running game, it's gonna take time. It's probably not gonna work in the first, second quarter. It's gonna start working in the third quarter, but you have to establish it early, right? And the only reason why Sean Payton went with it, Eddie, because it was working. I promise you, if it was not working, Sean Payton would be like, screw it, we're passing the ball. But you could see the difference with Bo Nix when you started running the ball. Then the team is worried about you running the ball, so that opens up, the passing game. That's the whole point. It's pretty simple, Eddie. But like I said, I don't trust Sean Payton, Eddie. I don't trust him. It worked this time. He's gonna try it. It's not gonna work. I'm not doing it. That's my fear. But
That's my fear too. I'm right there with you. I really am. Like you had a balanced attack this week. You ran for 186 yards. You passed for 326. You had a balanced offense. And now I think Sean Payton's gonna be like, okay, well, we're gonna go back to being pass happy again. And it bothers me. But before I get any further on that, here was the rushing stats for today. J.K. Dobbins, 16 attempts, 101 yards. He averaged 6.5 yards a carry. Let's see. R.J. Harvey, 14 attempts, 58 yards. He averaged 4 yards a carry. Mims, he only had the 1 rush for 16 yards and the touchdown, of course. There was 38 attempts. They had 186 yards, and they rushed for 2 touchdowns. Of course, one of those was Bo Nix's the first touchdown of the game. Bo Nix ran it in. Wasn't a design run. It was just there wasn't nobody open. He took off. The leading receiver today was Cortland Sutton with 5 receptions for 81 yards. Marvin Mims, 6 receptions with 69 yards. Troy Franklin had 4 receptions for 55 yards. RJ Harvey, four receptions for 40 yards. And then Troutman, 2 receptions for 32 yards. I'm sorry. Evan Ingram, 4 receptions, 29 yards. That's another thing I wanted to touch on. But before I get to that, is that this is your winning formula right here. I just gave you the stats, guys. Run the damn ball, Sean. Have a balanced offense. And that's the one thing I want to say. When you listen to sports talk, sports media people and everything, even ex-players that talk about this stuff, they all say the same thing every single time. It's 3 things that are the quarterback's best friend, and that is an offensive line. You got to be able to have a good offensive line to keep your quarterback upright, of course. You have to have a solid run game. They all say that. Any quarterback, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, you have to have a solid run game. And 2, a complementary defense. The Broncos have a good defense. They have solid running backs. It's not like last year where you just had Javonte. You got 2 solid backs you need to start using, Sean. And the Broncos offensive line came into the season as one of the top-ranked offensive lines. They have struggled a bit this year, especially Luke Wattenberg in this game yesterday, dude. He was getting penalized. Half those penalty yards came from him. But, again, that needs to be cleaned up. But you have a solid offensive line. You got everything you need for Bo Nix and this run game. Run the damn ball, Sean. Us as fans should not be telling you something that you should know 100%. I know you know. So run the damn ball.
But Eddie, I want to say something, Eddie, before you go any further. I mean, like, let's say when we play the Eagles next week, we know their D-line is really good, right? If he tries to run the ball, it's not going to work, especially early on. We know it's not going to work. They're going to stuff us, right? You can't. If you're going to pass the ball, Eddie, it doesn't have to be a flashy 40, 50 yards deep ball. No, just do short passes. It's okay. Get their defense tired. Do 3 yards, 5 yards, get a first down, control the clock. Eat the clock. I mean, seriously, like, this is how you beat them. Don't let their offense get the ball. Keep their defense, on the field. Get them tired, and then you start running the ball on them. This is the formula that's going to work, and our defense will be rested.
That's the formula to beat any good team. Whenever you're playing a Patrick Mahomes, when you're playing, I mean, Jalen Hurts is a top quarterback in the league, in my opinion, and they have a top offense. But when you're playing a good offense, whether if it's a good quarterback, a good run game, whatever, the best defense is offense for the other team. It's the best offense. You keep those guys off the field as much as you possibly can. That was the thing we heard about Patrick Mahomes and that Chiefs offense for years. You got to play good offense. You have to pick up first downs. You have to have long drives, chew up a bunch of clock, to keep Patrick Mahomes and that Chiefs offense on the field. Same for Josh Allen. Same for Joe Burrow. The best defense is offense. Keep those guys off the field. You keep the Eagles' offense off the field, and you control time of possession. You control the game. Guess what? You can beat the Eagles. You can beat any good team. You can beat the Patriots. The Patriots that went undefeated that year. Like, teams could have beat them if they just kept Tom Brady and that offense off the field.
It doesn't have to look pretty, Eddie. It's just a win. It doesn't have to look pretty and shiny and deep balls. No.
It could be the ugliest. I don't care if it's 10-13 and Bo Nix scores 1 touchdown. Mm-hmm. Like, if you beat the Eagles, it doesn't matter. In their house, nonetheless. You beat them. I don't care if it's like, even if it's a 10-7 victory, like we win by 3, we only score 10 points. You hold Jalen Hurts in that offense to 7 points and you win, I'll take it. I don't even care if it's 3-0. Yeah. And you beat them just with a field goal. I don't care. You beat the Eagles, people are going to notice. Like, that's the true test to me this week, is if the Broncos beat the Eagles. Like I said, I don't have them beating the Eagles this week. I have them losing. But if by some stroke of luck or miracle, you can beat the Eagles this week, dude, that is going to put you on the map for everybody. It's not just like, oh, we beat the Eagles. You're beating the defending Super Bowl champions, and you're beating the undefeated Eagles in their house. You beat the undefeated Super Bowl defending champ Eagles in their house. You don't think people are going to talk about the Broncos? They're like, what the hell is this team?
Exactly. And the confidence the team will have, Eddie, like our team will have this confidence that they beat the Eagles who else can, they can beat anybody. That's their mentality.
Well, here's my thing. The only thing I can really hope for this game, my only shot at well, maybe not the only shot, but my only like big thing for the Broncos to beat the Eagles this week this is what I think truly has to happen. Like, yes, the Broncos need to run the ball, cut back on the penalties, but also we need help from the Eagles. Like, I want this to be a trap game for the Eagles. I want them to overlook the Broncos. Now, I know in week 6, the Eagles have the Giants in New York. They play the Giants, and the Giants actually look pretty damn good yesterday. Or, I'm sorry, Sunday. They beat the undefeated Chargers last week or this past week. So, my hope is the Eagles look at the Broncos and be like, oh, they beat the, Joe Burrow-led Bengals. They beat the Titans. They lost to the Colts. They lost to the Chargers. I hope they overlook us and it's a trap game for them and they look on to the Giants. I believe that's true. And like I said, the Broncos run the ball, cut back on penalties, and the Eagles overlook us. That's my keys to victory for the Broncos this week. If all three of those things can happen, we can beat the Eagles. I have no doubt in my mind. But like I said, you shouldn't have to rely on the other team to be overlooking you or make mistakes to win. You as the team should be able to physically dominate the team that you're playing. Even if it's a scrappy win, like you said, even if it's like a 10-7 win for the Broncos. I don't care if it's ugly, but you got to be more physical and more dominant than the other team. That's how it goes in any game, especially at the line of scrimmage. Doesn't matter what team you're playing. So,
absolutely.
But the next thing I want to touch on, Mohammed, and I want to get your take on this because it's really starting to get on my nerves. Evan Ingram. Sean Payton, all offseason, talked about Evan Ingram. Oh, I found my joker. Now, he did get targeted. I think he had 4 receptions last night. But when are we going to see more of this guy? Like, I was told that he was going to be the joker. You're going to see this guy in the backfield. Like, whenever you see him, he's always up on the line. Like, he's not even spread out half the time. He's up with the offensive line with his hand in the dirt every single time. I don't like, you saw the Colts when we played them, Mohammed. They had freaking their young rookie tight end in the backfield. They had him back there with fucking Daniel Jones in the backfield like a running back. Whenever I think of Joker, that's the kind of stuff I think of. Confuse the defense. What's he going to do? Is he going to block? Is he going to go out for a pass? Is he going to run?
Yeah.
What's he going to do?
It's very tough.
We don't see that with Evan Ingram. We don't see him line up in the backfield. We don't even see him spread out wide. We see him with his hand in the dirt on the offensive line. Every single time I see him out there, that's what it looks like. That's what's going on. But what are your thoughts on this, Mohammed?
I don't think he's healthy, Eddie. He's definitely not 100%. And it's okay. We gambled.
You're cutting out there, buddy. Can you hear me, Mohammed?
You hear me, Eddie?
Yeah, I can now. Oh.
I hear you. You hear me?
Yeah.
Nothing?
No, I can hear you.
Yeah, no, I was saying, Eddie, that you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was saying, yeah, I was saying that he's not healthy. He's not 100%. We just gambled, not healthy. That's why he's not playing. And I know that. He's not 100%. So if he's not, just put him in IR, Sean. It's okay. He's hurt. I mean, it happens to any player. That's why. But the talent is there. He's very talented. But that's why he's not being used, because he's not healthy. That's what I believe in.
I hope you're right, man, because I want to see more of Evan Ingram. We went out and got him this year. We stole him away basically from the Chargers. They need to start using him. And if he's injured, then yeah, take him out. Don't freaking risk him getting injured any farther. But whenever I see him out there, I expect to see certain things. That's just the bottom line of it. And I want to touch on this before I get into the comments and we get out of here tonight, Mohammed, because we're already hitting 30 minutes, guys. Me and Mohammed are really, really tired. I'm getting over a injury that I got last week at work. So, but we got the Eagles and Jets the next 2 weeks. If we can just go 1-1 in those, and be, I think 3-3 going into week 7 against the Giants, who we face here at home, we will get Dre Greenlaw back that week. That's the week that he can come off IR and play. I'm hoping to God that happens because it would be the perfect time for Greenlaw to come back because you got the Giants here on the road. I'm sorry, you got the Giants here at home, week 7, and he's going to be facing this defense is going to be facing a rookie quarterback. Now, you can sit there and say, "Well, Jackson Dart, beat the Chargers," and I agree with that. But I'm just saying that'd be a perfect time to ease Dre Greenlaw back in, facing the rookie quarterback. You're facing the Giants here at home. And I think the following week you got the Houston Texans in Houston. It'd be, and they're not doing too good. The Texans ain't looking too good either. Their offensive line's atrocious. So you got 2 games right there that are very winnable. Where you can ease Dre Greenlaw back into the lineup. So I kind of hope that happens. But let's touch on some of the comments here. Oh, excuse me. We got one here from Michael Ronquillo. He's like, "Good evening, Ed Mohammed on Rocky Mountain Blitz. Appreciate you, man. Really appreciate you coming in here, putting your comments in. If you guys could, please like, comment, subscribe on the video. Also get your comments in and hit the bell notification, guys. We really appreciate it. Everybody that comes in here and talks to us. We don't even care if you're a Broncos fan. You're a football fan, come in here and talk to us. Great. Even if you're a Bengals fan, we're good with it, man. Got another one here from Michael. He's like, running back J.K. Dobbins said that the Broncos country is the best fan base, I guess is what he's trying to get at here in the NFL. I mean, I'm not gonna argue with that. As a Broncos fan, I'm not gonna argue with that. Like, we love even whenever players leave. Like, the only player I can honestly say that when he left Broncos country was just like, whatever, was Russell Wilson. But he kind of stole $160 million from this team, and he was trash. Really set this team back years. But even when Drew Lock left, a lot of people were like, "Oh, thanks Drew Lock for everything." Whenever Von Miller left, of course, Bradley Chubb, like even whenever I think Latavius Murray left, like the last guy to get 100 yards for this team in a game, people were like, "Oh, thanks Latavius. Good luck elsewhere." So, yeah, it's a great fan base. And I want to say this, Mom. I want you to take on this real quick before we move on any farther. If J.K. Dobbins, like, I love R.J. Harvey. I want the kid to get more touches. He played well yesterday too. But if J.K. Dobbins, like, I watched that full game yesterday, dude. Oh my God, J.K. Like, there wasn't something there, dude. That guy jumped, cut back, and he always picked up yards. He wasn't getting hit in the backfield. If he keeps playing like this the rest of the year, and you can get the right deal, I say bring J.K. Dobbins back for another year. Honestly. I'd say do it. What are your thoughts? Can't hear you again, Mohammed.
Absolutely, Eddie. He's good. I like his patience. I like his vision. I like the way he plays. You hear me now?
Yeah.
Hear me?
Yeah.
Nothing?
I can hear you.
Okay. No, I was saying that absolutely. I agree with you. I agree with you. I mean, bring him back. I mean, I like his vision. I like the way he plays, the way he makes his cuts and stuff. His patience, that's the most important thing, his patience behind the line. He waits for holes to develop. I kind of like that. Bring him back. RJ Harvey is not going nowhere. He's going to learn. It's fine. But hey, I think this is actually a good signing, Eddie. We got him basically for free. We didn't really pay much for him. So yeah, man. I mean, and I like his personality. He's just a good dude, man. So absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. If Dobbins keeps going like he is, I hope to God they bring him back for another year. He's only 26. He's still a good young running back. We got another one here from Michael. He's like, wide receiver Marvin Mims is looking like the Joker for the Broncos. Yeah, he is. He had that beautiful jet sweep run for a touchdown for 16 yards last night. Like, that's what I'm saying, man. Like, if Evan Ingram's hurt, just keep him out of the game, dude. Why are you putting him out there and risking more for him to get hurt? If he's not going to be able to be out there and do the Joker role, if he's not going to be able to be out there to do the Joker role that he was assigned to do, then take him out and let him heal. It doesn't make any sense to me. I wish Sean would get his head out of his ass a little bit sometimes. We got a new one here from Andre, new guy. Thank you for coming in tonight, Andre. Really appreciate it. Who's on the trade block coming up on week 6? Do you think we can make a playoff run with who we have, or do we need more? To talk about who's on the draft or trade block, I'd have to look. I'm not entirely sure on that one. I mean, you could look at the Dolphins. the Browns, maybe even the Jets. The teams that are probably not going to do much this year. Maybe even the Cardinals. The Panthers they might have somebody, but if I don't think the Broncos are going to trade for anybody, but if they were going to, I would say most likely maybe inside backer or center. Because if Luke Wattenberg is playing like he is, especially in this last game, I can see him change with Alex Forsyth and Wattenberg going into the backup position, and maybe they might want to bring someone in, or depending on what happens to Dre Greenlaw in the next couple of weeks, maybe another inside linebacker. But what are your thoughts for Andre here, Mohammed?
Hey, what's up, Andre? That's my buddy, actually. Thanks for the comments. What's up with the complicated questions, man? You hear me?
Yeah.
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't know who's available to trade, but I mean, I would probably trade for a tight end also, Eddie. I will add to the list that you mentioned: center, tight end, middle linebacker. They might be waiting for Greenlaw to see what's going on, but if there's a decent tight end, please bring him because Evan Ingram. I'm sorry, he's just not a joker. He's not healthy. So I don't think he's healthy. So, but yeah, man. I mean, they might wait to see actually how we're doing before they actually think about trading. Because if they think we're going to keep losing, we're probably not making the playoffs, they might not think of trading for someone. But we'll see what happens.
Well, actually, I just thought of another team that might be trading, but another one is a guy that we kind of talked about this past year or last year, talk about trading for at tight end position. That was David Njoku from the Browns. The Browns ain't going anywhere anytime soon, so maybe you trade for him. Or the other team I was thinking of was the team we just played, the Cincinnati Bengals. Maybe you can get Noah Fant, maybe Mike Gesicki. Maybe you can get one of those guys.
Gesicki. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, but
Noah Fant is actually looking pretty good, Eddie.
Well, I don't think he played last night. I think he was hurt, if I remember right. I had to go back and look, but I'm not entirely sure. We got another one here from Andre. He's like, if we need more, what do you want to get? Like I said, Muhammad said tight end. I said inside linebacker and probably a center, but I doubt the Broncos are going to trade for a center. I really do. What's up, Muhammad?
No, I mean, I didn't say anything. Is it? There might be some kind of delay, I guess, with my.
I think so. Yeah, a little bit of a delay, but yeah, they're not going to trade for a center. I think if anything, they're just going to, if Luke Wattenberg keeps playing like he is, they're just going to throw Alex Forsyth in there. And the good thing about that is he's got experience with Bo Nix, not just here in Denver, but in Oregon too, before, he got drafted to Denver. So I don't know, like we'll have to wait and see. And the trade deadline, I think, is like around week 8 or week 9 between those 2 weeks. So they still got a while. Like I said, I think the Broncos lose this week, but the Broncos go on a run. They beat the Jets. They beat the Giants. They beat the Texans, and I think the Cowboys are in there at some point. Which those are all very beatable teams. They really are. Like the Eagles are the hardest team on our schedule these next 5 weeks, 6 weeks. The Eagles are the hardest. The Jets, they're horrible. The Texans, they're not looking too good. The Cowboys ain't looking too good, and trying to think. I think the Raiders are coming up right after that. Then you got the Chiefs, and the Chiefs, we know we can beat them. I'm not worried about the Chiefs or the Raiders for that matter. I mean, for God's sake, freaking Geno Smith just threw 3 interceptions against Chicago. They got beat by freaking Caleb Williams, who looks like a bust at this point. So I ain't really worried about that. But let's see. We got one more comment here, and then we got to head out for tonight, guys. Michael Onkeel, he says, tight end Dalton Knox. You can even say maybe tight end Mark Andrews from the Ravens, since they're probably not going to be doing much this year either. But what are your thoughts on this one, Mohammed? Oh yeah, you
I
can't
mean,
hear you
Eddie,
again, bro.
honestly, yeah, he's decent. Whatever tight end is probably going to be better than what we have, honestly. Um, if Ingram is not, you might be a delay.
Yeah, you're really
You
delayed,
hear me?
dude.
God. You hear me,
But
Eddie?
yeah, I can, but you're just really, really delayed.
Go ahead.
But we'll just hurry up and wrap this up since we got a really bad delay. But Andre, last comment here. He's like, we missed the boat on Debo Samuel. I'm not worried about Debo Samuel. I'm really not. I could care less. I'd rather our young guys like Marvin Mims, Troy Franklin, even Pat Bryant get more touches than put somebody in there that's over 30. I mean, we already got that in Cortland Sutton. He's our leading receiver. I want to see more from the young guys. Troy Franklin needs to have not butter for hands, pretty much, but that's it for us tonight, guys. We'll be back next week. We haven't picked a day yet. We play the Eagles early morning on Sunday, 11 a.m., 1 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Mountain Time. We might do the live Sunday night if we got time, but if not, we'll figure out a day during the next week to do it. But thank you guys for coming in. Again, like, comment, subscribe on this video. Also hit that bell notification so we know when we go live. And please, like I said, get your friends, family, anybody that's a football fan, Broncos fan in here so we can get some more subscribers. We appreciate you guys all, and we will see you guys next week. Peace.